This is Ethan Braam with the PACWEST Side Out, men's volleyball player at COTR, the COTR Avalanche, the top team in the country in the Christmas break. How's that feel?
It feels pretty good. We were talking about it earlier. It was kind of the same thing last year, 9-1. So we're pretty pumped to be top of the class again, but we're not counting our eggs too early with what happened last year. I know this league is really good, and VIU's about to get a lot better as well. So we're getting ready for that.
Yeah, and you want to stay healthy, right?
That's the plan. I mean, last 2 years, unfortunate injuries, but I'm also getting old too. So I don't feel as healthy, so it's a lot of rest these days, a lot of keeping the knees healthy, which I haven't had to do in the past, which has been a bit of a change. But yeah,
Sucks getting old.
Yeah, it's not. It blows. My knees hurt all the time. I can't just go and jump and run and do whatever I have to do. I take like 45 minutes of activation just to practice.
Yeah. Where did volleyball all start for you?
I started volleyball pretty late. I started playing in grade 10. My family's big on basketball, so I always played a lot of basketball before that. And yeah, I started my summer of grade 9 in club for KVC, and then started playing KSS volleyball in grade 10. I actually played on the senior team because nobody tried out, so I got to play there. And that's where it all really started. Pretty late, but volleyball after basketball.
Yeah. So the K in KVC and the K in KSS Kelowna, and that's where we are now. We're in your old high school. Does it feel neat to be back?
It always feels weird coming back because I spent so much time here. It's winter formal right now, which I was in part of like the grad class that set this up, or like the program that did that. So it's weird to see the auditorium all like this again. Yeah. But it is weird being back.
We got all the lights flashing around. It's not just for you.
No, not just for me.
Your return.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. So you said basketball before volleyball. So that's what the family was? That family was involved in basketball. So why did you become the black sheep and go to volleyball?
Basketball was always the main sort of sport we were playing. My dad played volleyball, my mom played volleyball, but mostly it was basketball. Like both my brothers played post-secondary at universities. I originally wanted to go play basketball. I went to university at UFV first, and I took a gap year, and I was always kind of, not a gap year, just not playing sports. And I was always kind of like set on trying to make a basketball comeback. And then I was sitting in my dorm one day because it was COVID, and I was by myself the whole time. I was like, why don't I try volleyball again? Because I didn't play a whole lot, but I was like, I could probably be pretty good at that. And there's a player on the women's team, Rose Howard, who played for a couple of years, and I was like, hey, does their men's team need a spot? And I reached out to Cisco via an email, and fortunately one of the guys that was on the team just quit because of COVID, and he's like, yeah, we got a spot for you, and it all worked out well.
Yeah. So did you have to try out? Did you have to show him film?
No film. He knew who I was before. He scouted me a little bit in high school, but we never really talked at all. But basically he just offered me a spot. I redshirted my first season, so it wasn't a big deal for me to play, but it was a lot of fun. I was super excited. It was pretty fun that I just got an offer right away.
Yeah.
Taking a year off.
The knees aren't happy with you.
The knees were a lot better then. The knees were way happier then. My patellas wish they could be in that time.
Yeah. So there you are in COVID. Did you have to then get back into that volleyball mode, train, go out with guys and just bump and set?
Yeah.
You could, I guess?
I couldn't really. A lot of it was weight room. A lot of time in the weight room. That was kind of the advantage that I came in as a rookie. I mean, that rookie class was pretty exceptional, but I came in after lifting for basically a whole year, getting my body ready. I wasn't skilled at all. I was pretty bad. I came in pretty unprepared of what the level was going to be like. I don't know if you remember Keandre Evans.
Sure.
Yeah, I got to see him on my first practice. Him and Diego were both ripping balls and hitting warm-up, and that was a shock because I was like, cannot do this.
Yeah.
So I definitely wasn't ready skill-wise, but body-wise, I was pretty ahead of the most rookies.
Mm-hmm. So when did you feel comfortable? When did you feel that you were ready and could play post-secondary?
My first year was basically a wash. Not a wash, it was very beneficial, but the entire time I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel like I fit in with the boys, but I didn't feel like I was ready to take that next step. And I'd say about halfway into my second year, I had an early ankle injury, which set me back a bit. And then halfway into the second year, coming back from Christmas, I got a little bit more playing time. I started to find success. And that's when I started to feel like I belonged in the league. Like I was doing some things that I hadn't done before, and I carved out some playing time for myself. And probably into that second year, early third year is when I started to feel like I belonged in the league, belonged on that team.
Mm-hmm. Now year 4, is this team hungry to do better than last year. You had a bronze medal in the PACWEST last year, which I guess was a bit disappointing because of the standings in the regular season that you had. Is this team really hungry to make a move here in the second half?
Yeah, we got a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
I got 3 bronze medals, so I've 3 in a row, and then 2 due to unfortunate injuries. But this year feels different. Like, the boys are hungry. Cisco's having to tell us to stop working out so much, which is it's a bit different than normal. Yeah, it just feels it's not a different energy, because last year was unbelievable too with like the level of practice and stuff, but it just feels like we need it this year. Like, we need to finally break through that barrier to get to that success, like the camos, like the VIU, like we got the roster. This needs to be the year we really take that step. Yeah. I think we can.
Does this break come at a bad time then? You have the momentum, you're 10-0, and then all of a sudden you break for a month.
Oh, my knees definitely needed it. It's tricky because COTR only has 1 gym.
Yeah.
So during finals, we basically can't practice at all. I know some other teams have the luxury, like Camo and VIU, I think, have 2 gyms, so they can play a lot more. So that is unfortunate. It's also pretty tough to get gym time in Kelowna, like volleyball's in club time right now, so I don't play a ton over the break, which is a bit tricky. So it does feel like we got so much momentum, and then we get stopped right in the middle of when we're starting to make our push. But it's also really nice because we can take that time in the weight room in the off season to take advantage of this and basically win. It's a second off season. So we won the preseason, we won 10-0, and now we have an opportunity to win our break. So we're coming in with a good mindset, and it feels good. I'm excited for this break.
How about after volleyball or after COTR? You're in your 4th year. Have you thought about what's to come?
Yeah, it's terrifying. I hate the idea of having to go be an adult because I've been doing this for so long. I'm in the education program at UVic. So obviously I can go teach right after I want to play, but there's also like travel, and I've talked and thought about maybe going to play overseas, but that's like a long shot, and I don't know if that's in my cards. But there's a couple of different avenues that I can go down, and I guess time will tell what happens.
Yeah. So perhaps Professor Braun or Coach Braun?
I'm still going to go by Braam. I've already decided. Braam sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Braam doesn't sound right. That sounds like my dad. So I'm going to be just, as a teacher, just Braam.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for doing this. Thanks for sharing. Good luck the second half.
Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Ethan Braam from the COTR Avalanche.